Hey, what's up, you guys? Jelly here with day 2 of the Grand Prix starting today. Here's another deck specifically for the Day of Nightmares Grand Prix. This time we are going to look at Cost Morrigan, the 4-cost variant. This deck is doing great in the standard ladder, as anybody familiar with the ranked is aware right now. And there's not that much that really needs to be changed to bring the deck list over. You're losing some cards, but you're not really losing a lot. The core of the deck is still there, considering the big things you really need to get this archetype going, which is all of the Day of Nightmare 4-cost creatures, are still there. The big things you're going to lose out of your creature base are either Remy or Lilith. Some people run both, some people run only Remy. They're great 4-cost units, and you do miss them, but you have some okay replacements. You see here that I've got 3 Dalsims and 2 Ibukis. Now, there is another great unit for this. Bertha is a fantastic 4-cost unit. Her resonate ability is good. It's basically the idea for Ibuki versus Bertha of, do you want to go for the buff all units consistency, or do you want to be a little bit more aggressive with the flight? Flight is a mechanic that is always going to be extremely strong in aggressive situations, which you're running Shadow Blade, you're running bounce spells, you're running straight pings, you have buffs, and you have the ability to explore for buffs if you're stealing out like Leon Kennedy's from the Explore deck, or Cruelty from the Black Explore decks or Black Control decks. So there's some interesting things you can really, it's definitely something to take into consideration. Both are valid choices. Dalsim is the one that I would say that you should put in over the other two in general as a 3 of, and then play around with there, just because even though it's a 2-7 versus a 2-6 and he doesn't have that resonate effect, that 2-7 health can actually be a bit of a big difference, even if it's just one more attack that he sustains. In the time it takes for one attack to cross the board is, I think, 3 mana, 3.5 mana. So it actually makes a big difference how long your units can stay in the lane. So looking at the core of the deck, we don't have to go over too much of it, just because any of the Forpal guides will go over it. You know, you're looking for your Beltways to bounce, your 4 Eyes to steal, the synergy with Shadowblade and 4 Eyes to chop off some health off a unit. Get your things, Lupo, Vector, they're both very strong units. They don't really need to really be explained. Unblockable is a fantastic mechanic already at 8. If he gets buffed on Vector, 8 health on Lupo, both great. So the big choices are going to be your action cards and your big bombs. That's going to be where you're going to look at a little variance here. You'll see that for me, I like Jury, so I threw her in. Jury is fantastic, and when you're running Ibuki, giving yourself flight, or giving any creatures, or going for like an aggressive game plan is the better way to put it, instead of giving any creatures. The Feng Shui Engine, fantastic. I don't think anybody will really argue that Feng Shui Engine is a fantastic card. It's hard to get because you have to get a collision with Jury, but once that hits, the card is incredible. If you don't want to run Jury, you don't have Jury, Tigrix is a great replacement. You have the option to run 3 of them. I'm only running 2 right now. Tigrix is in both lists, the standard and in GP, because he just has so much value. Even if you silence him, 4/7 is nothing to laugh at in terms of stats. But when he has agility and spillover, he's even more amazing. So beyond that, we'll start to look at the actions now that we've covered a bit about the creature base. You're only running 9 action spells, so a little bit less than what decks are usually running on average, but you're very creature dependent on this archetype, and you're running a lot of creatures with effects, so you can kind of get away with running less. So as we were talking about before, we have Demonic Intimidation, 3 of, returning an enemy unit to the EX pocket. Your opponents are going to be filling up their EX pockets a lot in this Grand Prix with Explorer effects. Explorer is the main mechanic of the Day of Nightmare set. And if their EX pocket is filled, you toss something back with Beltway or Intimidation, it's now a removal spell unless they trade away some of their effects, some of their Explore cards, whether it's a shield, ammo, whatever. So that can create really good situations for you. And it actually synergizes pretty well with another card that we're going to be running, which is Sacrificial Pawn. If you are about to bounce a creature and they go, okay, I'm just going to use one of my cards to free up a slot for my unit to come back. Now I use Sacrificial Pawn as a chain. That throws a biohazard weapon, or the bioweapon capsule, into their EX pocket. They're going to lose their unit unless they trade away their other Explorer card, whatever it is. They might not be able to. It might really be unfortunate to. And you're buffing your own unit, which is always a good thing. Now, the bioweapon capsule is a 0-1, easy to just throw in front of whatever unit you have left on the board, pop it, and surprise, now they've got a 4-7. Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Four Eyes is fantastic at stealing that card. You know, throw a Splendid Buffet at it, throw a Shadow Blade at it, that 7 health is going to drop really quick, and Four Eyes is going to say, thank you, come join my side, we've got the cookies, and, you know, they like cookies. Everybody likes cookies. So, that's that. So, looking at Splendid Buffet, that's one of your other action cards. You're running 3 of this. X plus 2. X is the number of cards in both players' EX pocket. So, you're not filling up yours a lot. You don't have the draw spells that you have in Standard right now. So, you are losing a little bit of the value in that, but Explorer is such a big mechanic. You can steal Explorers. You have Jory, and overall, your opponent's going to fill up their EX pocket. So it's not too hard to get to a 4 damage buffet. It's going to heal you a lot. It's going to be great for killing off your opponent's units. Overall, a fantastic card. It's all about how you use it because they can respond to it. Now, the last action card you're running is the bad counterspell in this matchup, or in this format, I should say, Demonic Sneer. Now, Sneer is not a great card. Let's be honest. 4 mana negates something that's 4 or less. You have 2 free mana, so at minimum you're going even to +2. Okay, that's not necessarily terrible. It's not good, but it's not terrible. Honestly, you have some okay targets to Sneer. It can actually have some uses. That's why I kind of like to tech 1 in. Not a lot of people see it because honestly, it's kind of rated as a pretty terrible card. You know, it's not as good as the counterspells that are, you know, being played inside of ranked right now, but it does the job when you need it. I've had some great use out of it, and I think it's at least worth a one shot. But if you want to take it away, you can put in another Sacrificial Pawn. You could put in plenty of other cards. There are a lot of things. You could put in an extra unit if you really wanted to. I would recommend at least, you know, another action card, because too many units and you'll start to really flood over. As weird as that sounds, we're 9 versus 8, but that does make a difference in the overall scheme of things. You would be surprised how quickly you're really turning a fair point in when you've only got 30 cards in your deck. So that is for Cost Morrigan for the Grand Prix. Test it out, see how you like it. It's definitely going to do great for you, I'd say, as long as you feel confident in your play. If you have any questions, any feedback, you can drop a comment down below. Hit me up on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, however you want to find me. And then you can always, if you like the content, hop on over to twitch.tv/JellingPals, drop a follow, and join the family. Have a great one, guys.
I'll take good care of you.
You'll make a nice test subject. So, you're ready to play.
Don't disappoint me now. Where do you think you're going? Game of Shadow Blade!
Preparations complete. Mere distractions are taken out.
Try harder!
You think you can stand
Don't disappoint me
God?
now. You were wonderful. Naughty. Get what you deserve.
There's no point resisting. Just accept your fate. Now we're talking. All preparations complete.
Not a game of give and take. Shadow Blade! Don't disappoint me now. Where do you think you're going?
But I'm still in. I can't. I can't let it end here. All preparations complete.
Naughty, naughty. Get what you deserve. Not this game of give
Now
and
we're
take.
talking. No, I can't. I can't let it end here.
You were wonderful. Well, worry. I'll be ever so gentle.
You'll make a nice test subject.
Naughty, naughty. Get what you deserve.
Your struggles are futile. Preparations complete. Mere distractions overtaking us.
Love is a game of give and take. Don't disappoint me now.
You think you can stand against the gods?
Shadow Blade!
I don't have time for your interference. Preparations complete.
Try harder. Love is a game of give and take. Shadow Blade! Don't disappoint me now.
You think you can stand against a god? You think you can stand against a god? Mere distractions overtaking us. Preparations complete. So, you're ready to play.
Don't disappoint me
Give and
now.
take.
Shadow Blade!
Mere distractions overtaking us.
Try harder.
So, you're
Naughty,
ready to play.
naughty. Get what you deserve.
Preparations complete. So, you're ready to play. Mere distractions overtaking us. Your struggles are futile.
You were wonderful. I'll take good care of you.
Ever since that day, it's been my destiny to fight. All preparations complete.
Don't disappoint me
There's no
now.
point resisting. Just accept your fate. You're finished. Give up already. Now we're talking.
Where do you think
Not
you're
looking
going?
good. But I'm still in it.
It's a game of give and take. Shadow Blade!
No, I can't. I can't let it end here.
Try harder.
You're finished. Give up
Don't
already.
disappoint me now.
All preparations complete. Now we're talking. Ah! Ah!
You were wonderful while you lasted. I'll take good care of you.
Come at me. I'll hold nothing back.
Try harder.
I can't afford to doubt myself. I can't afford to doubt myself.
Don't disappoint me now. Shadow Blade! Where do you think you're going?
It's time. Shinju Hadouken!
Don't disappoint me now.
I can't afford to doubt myself.
Naughty, naughty. Get
I'll hold nothing back.
Don't disappoint me now. You were wonderful. Well, you